If you don't know, you're gonna know. They're known for their sense of humor, their fancy hats, and their lovely aprons. So let's give it up for the Raging Grannies!
We have a Raging Grannies group in Des Moines.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've got 2 quick songs. They've both got sing-along choruses, and we want you to sing along. And remember, you got to do what your granny says. So, the first song, the chorus is so simple. It's just, ain't gonna trash the earth no more, to the tune of Down by the Riverside. So, sing along when we get there. We'll let you know. Grannies. Gonna leave tar sands in the ground, down by the riverside, and on the mountainside, and in the ocean's wide. Gonna leave tar sands in the ground, down by the riverside. Don't trash the earth no more. Sing along now. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. 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 Gonna say no to Enbridge greed. Down by the riverside and on the mountainside and in the ocean's wide. Gonna say no to Enbridge greed. Down by the riverside. Don't trash the earth no more. Come on, sing. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. No more. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. Ain't gonna trash the earth no more. Gonna say yes to life for all. Gotta live in harmony. Gotta live in harmony. Gotta live in harmony. Gotta learn the way of life for all. Gotta learn to share the earth. Don't trash the earth no more. Ain't gonna 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 trash the earth no more. Our second one is even better. It's Go Home, Enbridge, Leave Minnesota Alone, Alone. So sing along when we get to that part, okay? The tar sands will leak in Superior. The tar sands will harm our clean air. The tar sands will kill birds and fishes. And we know that Enbridge won't care. So go home, Enbridge. Minnesota alone, alone. Go home, Enbridge, and leave Minnesota alone. We'll stand up and say no to Enbridge. We don't want your pipeline up here. We don't want your dirty old tar sands. And we've made that perfectly clear. So go home, Enbridge. Leave Minnesota alone, alone. Go home, Enbridge, and leave Minnesota alone. They trample on lands that are sacred. They trample on organic farms. We all love our dear Minnesota. We'll keep it from Enbridge's harm. Last time. So go home, Enbridge, and leave Minnesota alone, alone. Go home, Enbridge, and leave Minnesota alone.
For those just joining me, this is Occupier Kaylin coming to you live from the state capitol grounds here in St. Paul, Minnesota. This is
that's my shower voice. I'm sorry.
Tar sands rally. We marched a couple miles before coming here from the river.
Where have you been?
was helping the grannies.
I see.
Well trained from Louisiana, you know.
Already
This
after
is
those
live.
women, Jesus, guys.
5,000 plus people
Coming
here.
up to the stage, we have Jimmy Staples, an urban environmentalist, the president and CEO of Renewable Energy Partners, which is a minority-owned solar installation and development company.
Yeah.
A minority-owned business.
These
That
guys
is so
are
awesome.
focused on creating opportunities for communities of color to participate in the development of a green infrastructure. The way forward. Give it up.
Give it up. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you all. Again, my name is James Staples, the founder of Minority Farm Renewable Energy Partners. First, I'd like to thank all of the environmental groups that coordinated this magnificent event. You all did a phenomenal job, and I mean a big round of applause to them. Second, I'd like to thank all of you for coming from near and far, you know, just to come out and support this effort here that we're having here today. Before I get into my comments, I want to make a quick note that just a quick update from Senator Marty that I just got here. Senator Marty said that we are likely to have a new law passed this week that will give electrical breaks to Enbridge and other pipeline companies.
No.
Ooh, hello. Did anybody hear that? Okay, thank you. So what we're asking that you do is really reach out to the governor, reach out to your legislatures, reach out to your state reps, and really push back against that. Obviously, that's not something that we want to subsidize.
Oh, heck no.
So, and for the most part, I'll go into my traditional notes. Okay, sorry about that. Whether we like it or not, you know, we're all in this together. You know, Republicans, Democrats, rich, poor, black, white, you know, native, you know, wherever you may come from. And, you know, so it's important that we all stand together to support, you know, clean water, clean energy, and a safer climate. I'm here today to stand in solidarity with you against tar sands, but I'm also here to represent the communities of color that seem to be left out of the environmental conversation. Not only are we usually left out of the environmental conversation, but we also miss out on the economic opportunities. Here in Minnesota, we face, for all of you that do not know, we face some of the largest disparities in the country in regards to economics, education, just a host of different areas that really need to be addressed. And we really need to focus on not just Minnesota, but the whole country as countrywide. Many partners such as the Sierra Club, the North Star Chapter, Cooperative Energy Futures, Minnesota Interpower Light and Faith, Candy Ojai Consulting, Innovative Power Systems, and others have committed to creating a socially just economy for communities of color to get the necessary training in the area of clean energy productions. We also want to create pathways for low-income communities of color to have access, low-income communities of color to have access to renewable energy as their preferred method of energy production. Improving our climate isn't an easy task, and there are numerous challenges. So I am encouraged and inspired by all of you here today, because it reminds me it will be worth it once we see Minnesota go from worst to first as a result of clean energy initiatives and community empowerment. Again, I thank you all for coming out, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you all. Again, we're looking at, please reach out to the governor, your state reps, and your legislative representatives to make sure that you push back against this shorting of the subsidization of electric for Enbridge and other pipeline companies. Thank you.
Woo, thank you very much. That's what's needed in the world today. And we have this woman who really needs no introduction.
No, she does not. But I want to say this before she comes up, because I think this is one of those moments that I think is so important in our space that we sometimes forget. Many of you are live streaming.
Yeah.
And many of you don't understand that right now you are bringing encouragement to those on the West Coast, to those on the East Coast, to those in the South,
to those, as Bill mentioned, those who are in Bangladesh, those in India, those around the world, because they want to see us gather and fight for our planet. And so I just want to let you know that I know you marched. I know you now are like, man, it's a beautiful day to sit down. But for this next speaker, I need you to get turned up. Can y'all help me on that? There you go. I see them. They stand up now. They stand up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Because the whole world is watching. And so I want them to feel our energy. Wherever they are, for the pipeline fighters, those who are in Nebraska fighting, and those who are all over New Orleans fighting. I want them to feel our energy right now for our next speaker. Okay. Now with that, Candy, let's get it going.
You may have heard of a little organization called Honor the Earth. Winona LaDuke. She's an Ojibwe enrolled member. Works in MITRE, the mother of 3 children, the executive director of Honor the Earth. Winona's been working all over, national level, creating funding for frontline and environmental groups. This woman is somebody that inspires the rest of us to continue to do what we do. Because we have somebody to look up to. And we say, if she can do it, man, someday we can be there and we can do it. And we're doing it now. We're doing it. Without further ado, I want to bring to the stage
Make some
a good
noise.
friend of mine, Winona LaDuke.
My relatives. This is my sister here, Tanya Abed, from East Lake, one of the fellow people up there fighting. Keep those pipelines out of the North Country. It's a good day today. It's a good day today. We come from a place up north where you can drink the water from a lake. We come from a place up north where the food grows on the water, and that's called wild rice. And we come from a place that you can get sugar from a tree, and that's called maple sugar and maple syrup. We think that's worth fighting for. Why would you want to mess that up? I heard that. So I came here because Enbridge came to our territory, and we said no. We are facing 3 Enbridge pipelines trying to cut across our territory. We're facing the Sandpiper out of the Bakken. We're facing the Alberta Clipper, we're facing Line 3, and we're facing one Koch brothers pipeline. You know that's wrong to run them pipelines from the headwaters of the Mississippi. Y'all know that's wrong. Yeah. So we came down here because things are not going well here. Things are not going well at the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission. We just saw them roll over to Enbridge yesterday. That is exactly right. They lack courage, they lack vision, they lack imagination, and they're doing the wrong thing for all of us. Yeah. So what happened yesterday is that the Minnesota PUC said that they wanted to grant the certificate of need for the Enbridge Sandpiper line. That's a really, really bad idea. But I want to say that we have tried. I have tried the white man's process. I have tried the white man's process. I've been to hearing after hearing after hearing after hearing. And it's not working out for any of us, it turns out. I've been to hearing after hearing, and our tribes asked the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission to come and do us the respect of holding a hearing on our reservation, because that pipeline is proposed to go right through our reservation. My people had to come all the way down here from Rice Lake on our reservation because the PUC would not come to us.
Chicken livers.
We think that's disrespectful. We think that's super disrespectful. And so then our tribe said we's going to hold some hearings ourselves because we are governments. And so this week, the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, the White Earth Nation, represented well here. There's a lot of you out there from White Earth. Well, thank you for coming out, White Earth. And the Mille Lacs Band. they held their hearings and they asked the state of Minnesota to not make a decision until the tribes had gone through their hearing and regulatory process. And the state of Minnesota, Department of Commerce and PUC basically said that is not going to happen. We're going to walk over you. So what I'm here to say to you is that your people made agreements with my ancestors. Our ancestors made agreements, and Governor Dayton, he said that tribal governments would be respected by state agencies. This is not 1889 in Minnesota when this fellow up here, Knute Nelson, who's sitting right there on that flippin' statue, took our land. This is not the time in the 1930s when you could drive her people and our people out of our refuges by gunpoint, burning their houses. That was in the 1930s. This is 2015, and we want Minnesota to grow up and treat us like first-class citizens. We're asking you to support us. We're asking you to support us and to support tribal governments and tribal leadership in the North to say you cannot poison us. Because we all know they aren't making any new water. We all know that. We all know that this corporation's going to drag stuff across here which should not be here. We all know that's wrong. So we got to find it together, Minnesota. I know we can. You guys are my therapy after a week of the PUC. I'm so happy to see y'all. I just want to say, we are bigger than this. This is our time. You got a choice. In our prophecies, there's a choice between two paths. Simply said, you got a choice between water and oil. Time to make the right choice. Time to make that choice. Time to know that it's time for to protect our water and protect our lives. This is our time. You know, that's what I know for all our people. The other thing, what I know is that last year I was out in Washington, D.C. in my teepee, rode my horse with my sister here, walked out of my teepee. This guy said, hey, you want to go for a ride in my car? I just laughed. Then I go look at the guy's car, and the guy had a Tesla. I said, I want to ride in that Tesla. So what I did is I walked from my teepee to a Tesla. I'm telling you that because that's basically what we all want. That's what the future looks like. Electric cars, local food, local energy. That's it. Powers with us all. Stay strong. Do not let them do it. Stay strong and have that vision. Miigwech.
Just checking my juice. I can go for a little while.
Give it up for Winona Ledoux!
Yeah. So when I played college basketball, we had this thing in the fourth quarter. We put our fingers up, 4 fingers, right? Because we come to the end, but we're not going to get tired. So let me see all around. Put the 4 fingers up because we're not tired. We're not tired. Be able to help. Mr. DJ, go a little beat on that. Woo, woo. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're not tired. Come on, side to side. Now for the next speaker. Come on, let's keep going. Yeah.
Coming up to the stage, we got Emma Lockridge. Come on up, Emma.
Yeah, make some noise.
In the course, when it's sports sliding down the slalom, not a problem when I'm turning rubber circle.
We've been talking a lot about local folks, you know, that's great. We're here in Minnesota. But again, it's about folks from all over. Zip code 48217, Detroit.
Detroit!
That zip code is the most polluted zip code in the entire state of Michigan. Partly because of Marathon Petroleum Corporation and their $2.2 billion tar sands refinery. But resident and environmental activist Emma Lockridge and a group of her neighbors decided they weren't going to take it no more. They're going to stand up and fight back against Marathon. They're going to purchase their own homes, trying to, in order to fight this refining exposure. Marathon went in there and purchased more than 200 homes, mostly white property owners near the refinery, saying they need to expand. Well, they left most of the black homeowners who now endure the horrific impact of the tar sands refining process. This is real, people. And I'm going to hand it over to Emma she can tell you her story.
Hello, Midwest America. Thank you so much. I have had a life-changing week. Approximately a month ago, I met a woman named Winona LaDuke. She just happened to be passing through Detroit on a big tour, talking about pollution and tar sands and stuff like that. And I just gave a brief talk about what's happening to us as we're being murdered in our homes. And she said, you need to come out and spend some time with me. I have been with her the entire past week. It's like shadowing a rock star of activism. I am so pumped up. I'm pumped up. We went to hearings. I heard the Ojibwe people speak about rising. I heard them talk about what it means to lose their way of life. I heard them talk about their love of the land, of hunting, fishing, gathering, and I cried so many tears because this cannot be given way to a stupid pipeline. No way, no way. I discovered we have something in common. When they decided to put the pipelines across the territories where they live, they weren't consulted. They don't care. They don't care if Winona's people die. They don't care if the water is poisoned. They don't care if rising comes to an end. And the same thing happened in my community. When Marathon invested $2.2 billion, and by the way, got tax breaks from the state of Michigan to do that. When Marathon decided to upgrade its tar sands refinery in 2007, they opened up an office and invited people to come in because they said there'll be an expansion and the air will be bad. But that expansion and the home buyer purchase plan only covered the white people in my zip code, with a few perhaps Mexicans living there. So we live across the street from the refinery. In fact, we live in the refinery because the emissions are so horrible now. We wake up gagging and coughing. We get headaches. Winona brought her son to visit my home. He was so overwhelmed, he became ill and had to get back into his car. So they decided to purchase their homes, and they left us there to die. But it gets better than that. We got a mailing from Marathon Petroleum last week, now that they've torn down all of the homes of the white owners, inviting us to come help them green it out and plant flowers. Well, I said, you know what, Marathon? We took signs over there and we said, we're pushing up daisies while you plant flowers. That's not going to do for us. So this is environmental racism at its worst. That's what it is. And I am so glad. My heart has ached when I see what's happening in Alberta, even in our beautiful state of Michigan, when the Kalamazoo pipeline burst. $750 million and it's still not cleaned up. And then at the end of the pipeline, that poison, toluene, benzene, xylene, arsenic, formaldehyde. We breathe it every day, every night. It's a sick community. I'll conclude by saying we're sick. We're getting sicker by the minute. I've said this before and I'm going to say it one more time. I had to get a kidney transplant. My sister died on dialysis. My next door neighbor is on dialysis. The neighbor across the street died on dialysis. And my neighbor around the block was just diagnosed last month. This is insanity. Forget putting oils on trains, running it through pipelines, putting it on airplanes. Tar sand should be over. Over. This insanity, this crack addiction to the black stuff has got to end so that somebody else can make a buck. of our health. And we have to stand with Winona, protect their communities, protect their territories. And thank you for letting me breathe. I stayed at her home and was able to breathe clean air for a solid week. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And my final question to the Koch brothers and all of the people who support this oil is, how many barrels can you drink?
Whew. That's real. And that's why we're here. And there's people that do this in many different ways.
I was telling you, I was so excited. I couldn't come up the steps fast enough.
He fell up the stairs.
I fell upstairs.
Defying the law of gravity.
Joke there. Gotta get the joke on that one. Our next speaker.
Our next speaker is part of the Million Artists Movement. We got 2 speakers left. Please hang in there with us. We've got a performance at the very end too, but we just appreciate you all being here. Especially to hear Jayanti Kyle. Yep, she's a songstress, collecting songs that speak to her struggle and empowerment and ability to be, change, and move forward. She sings from her heart for people. She's in 7 bands and has the heart of a mother. Again, she's part of the Million Artists Movement. Let's give it up.
Make some noise. Come on, y'all. You can do better than that. You can do better than that now.
That's how the river flows, not from the highest peak, but from the depths below, from where my spirit speaks, from the muddy shores, a subtle feeling grows that I've stood here before, right where the river flows. When I washed my muddy hair by the banks of the Ganges, I heard a whisper there from my mother and my mother's mother. They were singing to me, and petal after petal I will settle on her back as she drifts to the ocean, into deepness turning black. I could wade in, I could let it wash me down, feel it covering me, I would never again be found. That's how the river flows, not from the highest peak, but from the depths below, from where my spirit speaks, from the muddy shore. A subtle feeling grows that I stood here before, right where the river flows. I said I've known it, well I've known that river too. It made me shiver until I turned the color blue from the dusky ancient Nile. When I was only just a child, I heard it singing, and it said, be free. Oh, but freedom, whereby the river found its chains. Though I would travel, I cannot go back again. So from the shallow, I will whisper to the deep that I have known you, that you've been calling out to me. That's how the river flows, not from the highest peak, but from the depths below, from where my spirit speaks, from the muddy shores, a subtle feeling grows that I've stood here before, right where the river flows, from the mouths of the banks of the Mississippi River. I will shout and give thanks to the water that's a giver, and give thanks to the water that's a giver. and give thanks to the water that's a giver. And though by steam they might conquer, I still believe that you will never be taught by the shovel or be given a muzzle, for your mouth is a muscle. By your voice they do hustle. So speak sound and let your voice flow out, and I will join you in song while we proudly do sing on. That's how the river flows. Sing it with me. That's how the river flows.
That's how the river flows.
Not from the highest peak, but from the depths below.
From the depths below.
From where our spirits speak.
From where our spirits speak.
From the muddy shore.
From the muddy shore.
A subtle feeling grows.
Subtle feeling grows.
That we stood here before.
We stood here before.
Right where the river flows.
Right where the river flows.
Ooh. I'm so grateful to be here today. I'm so grateful that something is being done, that you're all doing something.
Rescue some
Thank
cup
you,
that fell
thank
off
you.
of a chair.
Give it up, y'all! Give it up!
So, in this spirit that I think that was just brought to this place of culture, we want to continue that right now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So I want to bring up a spoken word artist in that spirit, Luis Alameo. Correct? I want Luis to then continue to usher in that spirit that the wind is also bringing in. So make some noise for Luis right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yesterday I had a healing from a young woman named Alejandra Tobar. And while I was on the table, I really felt the spirit of one of my nieces who left us a while ago. Her name is Washdewi Gonzalez. She was a really strong activist. And I feel her here today. And if she was in body, she would definitely be a leader amongst us today. There's a new world coming. Everything's gonna be turning over. Everything's gonna be turning over. Where you wanna be standing when it comes. This is the urgency. Live and have your blooming in the noise of the whirlwind. We walk the way of the new world. 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 The Holy Land is all the earth. Sometimes I hardly know what to say in this high-tech dark age. And one day a sun will rise with healing in its wings, and loving dew will sparkle on our bare flesh, innocent, naked. Do you know the way from here to there, dear friend? through the storm? Are the rocks still screaming when I'm silent, really quiet? I hear voices. The Holy Land is on the earth, and all the earth is holy. The earth is our only home. Creation, yes, all the earth is holy. The water holy, the air holy, the creatures that crawl, the creatures that swim, all holy. The two-legged winged, holy. Let us touch with kind hands, blessing all that lives, all that laments. Rise, be robust and brave in the face of dawn. Face it. You are the face of dawn. Integrity of water, light, and love can sustain us now.
Corporate welfare
This is the fire. Next time, now, at last, real power. And the new world is born on this breath. Breathe. Now is the time. Now is the time. Embracing on the breast of our mother's sacred heart. Beating.
The person who belongs to those bottles will probably be back to work.
Come on, y'all. Make some noise for Lewis, y'all. So we're actually pretty much done, right? We're almost done. We got one more speaker and some entertainers.
Yeah.
Artivists, really. Artivists. Activists and artists. Artivists.
Some native folks to the stage. Woo!
A new word, artivist.
So as we get ready,
activist.
I just want to say this. And I noticed this because I saw this on some of the tweets. Some of us here, and I understand why, are cynical. And what I think we miss in this spirit and in this place, for our movement to succeed, we
I put your
can
cup on one of your bottles.
and we will win.
I rescued it again.
But it will come through love. It'll come through love. Not only love for ourselves and then for those around us, but for the next generation. So what I just want to say to you is this, is that you are so beautiful to me out there. And I know that for the young folks, the younger ones who are out here who are grinding and in the field, sometimes you can get a little discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up the fight. Don't stop fighting. You know, 50 years ago, Dr. King spoke about a dream. And he said that one day we'll be free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty we'll be free at last. And we can be black, white, red, yellow, brown, male, female, straight, gay, human. We can come together. But now if we do what we're going to do today, for the next generation, they will look back upon this moment in this city as we stop tar sands and pipelines, and then that next generation will rise up and they will say that not oh, we are free at last, but they will say that we are fossil free at last. Fossil free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are fossil free at last. So don't give up. Don't stop fighting.
Don't ever give up.
Don't ever give up.
Don't ever give up. You know what? Next month, on July 25th, there's going to be an event called Remember the Kalamazoo.
That's right.
Yep. Some of you may not know, but 5 years ago was the largest tar sand spill in U.S. history. And they're still trying to figure out how to clean it up.
Can't clean up that
in Battle Creek, Michigan. And community members are still dealing with the impacts of what that did. Community members like our next speaker, who just touched my heart when I heard him speak. Chris Wamhoff is here to use his voice and the experiences that he went through as a living example of why these pipelines are not safe and why they must be stopped. Give it up for Chris, everybody.
Hey everybody. My name's Chris. I'm from Kalamazoo. As was just mentioned, next month it'll be 5 years since the largest inland oil spill in U.S. history, the largest tar sand spill. And we had some amazing speakers, and they talked about great encouragement tonight. And I thank you for the words. I can't even remember all of you. This word about belief, about how we come back, about how we fight. And it's I got to start out a little bit somber, so I apologize with that. And I want you guys to kind of check out this shirt. It's not just some kind of ridiculous fashion statement. These are all younger to high school kids that live on the river here in Kalamazoo. Not all of them are sick, but some of them are. One of them is 10. Anybody that was on the tour, they heard me tell this story. Our state, behaving a little bit like your POC, bent over for Enbridge, and they said that they could go swimming in the river and that it was safe after we just had this incredible oil spill. And at 8 years old, this kid went swimming and he came out with a rash, and now at 10 he's got liver cancer. And I say that to let you guys know what you're dealing with. I want you to know, like the folks in Detroit, like the folks up in Alberta, there are compacted communities like ours all over where there are people sick and they're dying. And they're not people you choose. They're kids you know. They're your parents. They're your brothers. They're your sisters. And I just want to ask you guys, bring this energy you had tonight. Bring this energy you have today. And come and check us out next month in July. I want you guys to come. And I want you to look at the river and see what Enbridge says is a clean river. I want you to see what your PUC just invested in. I want you to see what they do to community members. I want you to see what they do to farmers. I want you to see what they do to the kids in our community. And just, I'm going to keep it short today.
All right.
I'm going to fool you guys a little bit for any of you that saw this, so don't go too quick. I'm going to ask everybody to put your hands in the air. Yesterday, your 5 people turned on you and said that the PUC was unanimously with Enbridge. And I want you to remember something that we have to remember every day when we look at these kids. I want you to remember you have power. I want you to say it after me. I have power. I have power. I want you to say it with a we. We have power. We have power. Again, we have power. We have power. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. Another Thank you. Come with us, heal with us. Thank you.
Yeah, but I kind of forgot about it.
I gotta take a little bit. So, but that we at the end, y'all. But we at the beginning. We continue to fight for our planet. So, I don't know if you know the person next to you. I know we're from all over, from different backgrounds. But turn to your neighbor and give him a hug. Turn to your neighbor and say, "I'm with you." Said, "I'm with you." That's right. Turn to your other neighbor and say, "I'm with you. I'm with you." That's right. Okay. That's enough hugging now. That's enough hugging now. I know we want to grow the movement. That's enough hugging. We got y'all get the
starting a new Woodstock here.
Hey. What the we can give love now. We don't hold back.
I feel like we need a crowd energizer. Don't you feel like?
I think so.
All right. Bring it to the stage, Zaya Leguizamon today. Come on up. She's a movement specialist and the founder of Embody Deep Democracy. So get prepared. How are y'all doing?
Wow, this is beautiful. All right, we've heard some great speakers today, and now I want to hear from you. But we're going to do it in a very particular sort of way. Are you ready? Are you going to move with me? All right. So what I want you to do is take in your mind's eye that place that you're fighting for. And when you have that, raise your hand to the sky. And hold it high. Now, take that spirit from that land, that earth spot that you have, and move it around. Move it around. We're here to speak for Mother Earth. Let her energy come up and through you. Let move your body. Sway your body. Back and forth. Let us see the voice of Mother Earth. And now I want you to add some sounds. How does she sound? Let's hear her rhythm. Woo! Is that what she says? In fact, let's use our hands.
I'm going to check my juice. I'm getting low on juice, so I think I'm going to shut this down. Give my phone a rest. And I think I'm going to go find some food because I'm getting a little hungry. So I don't know when I'll come up again, but there's supposed to be something else later. But I think for right now, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to go get me some food, and then maybe in a few minutes I'll come back. I'll probably just change battery since my battery is getting low, and I'll see you in a little while.